Hey there, Aries. This is going to be your October 2021 what you need to know reading. So, this is a general reading. This is definitely not a one-to-one reading due to the fact that there are plenty of people that will run across it, and not one Aries is like another. So, definitely not a one-to-one reading. If it doesn't resonate, please check out your well, this is your sun. This will be your sun reading. Check out your moon, Mercury, Mars, Venus, rising signs as well. See if they hit whatever it is that you need. So this may take a minute. It looks like these readings are averaging out maybe 30 minutes. So if you need to go grab you a cup of coffee, depending on what time of day, or maybe a glass of wine. I have stolen some whiskey from my husband, because it has been a good long day. All right, let's get into this. I'm going to start by pulling an oracle card from the Seasons of the Witch and see what our overall feel for October is going to be. Also, hopefully, if you don't mind, I'll give you my interpretation of the cards always, but in regards to the oracle cards, I would very much like to read from the book, because one, it's kind of like seeing a piece of artwork and having the artist right there by you, telling you exactly how they felt and what their interpretation of that card is or was at the time that they were painting it. So I do like to read the books in regards to the oracle cards. Whoa. Well, happy Halloween. Fives are all about some sort of change or instability or some type of conflict going on, and you got the Banshee card. Okay. I'm going to read from this in a minute. I'm so sorry. I have one of those orb lights above it, as you can probably see on the card, so it's kind of reflecting. These cards are shining. At the bottom of the deck, you also had the ritual card, which would, if you've been seeing a lot of threes here lately, pay attention to what's going on around you at that moment, because the ritual card is the 33 card. But yeah, all right. So let's start with this Banshee card. So she says, heed my warning, dear child, for what I hold is far from unsung lullabies. Swallow a nail and you can expect bleeding from within. What you been doing here lately, Aries? Have you been testing people's patience? I hate saying that, but yeah. It's kind of gives me that whole, if you give a lot of negative energy out into the world, you're going to get that back threefold. So if you're basically, I hate to say it, starting shit, the shit's coming back on you. All right, so it's all about getting like wrath, or receiving a wrath. I don't know how you honestly use that. The wrath of a situation is coming back on you threefold. I think that's more of an adjective than it is a verb. So reading from the book here, whoo, this is definitely Halloween feel. I mean, I've had these cards for quite some time, and like, that's the first time I've seen that little guy. All right, so it says here, in a reading, a banshee's cry also means death, but this death is not physical. It is a symbolic one. You are facing an ending. However, this will not be an easy one, and you will still mourn the loss. So it kind of makes me feel like it's one of those, if you're familiar with tarot, if this isn't your first reading, kind of gives me the overall feel of the Tower card. How if you don't build something on some sort of a solid foundation, like let's say if you build a relationship built upon lies, or just to be very relevant. If you don't build a house on a solid foundation, what's going to happen when the first wind blows through? Your shit's just going to fall over. The first earthquake, you're done. So it's all about building something on a solid foundation. And what this is telling you is that you need to tread lightly on whatever's about to happen. Kind of looks spooky down there because she's all in dark. So this is not a physical death, it's a symbolic one. So something is coming to an end, and it's basically telling you, heed warning, there's some type of conflict and change and instability, like I said, because that's what fives mean, is that something is coming. This ending is long overdue, and the powers that can no longer wait for you to let go. That doesn't make any sense. The ending is long overdue, and the powers that can be can no longer wait for you to let go. So it's kind of like a feeling of you've been holding on to something for quite some time, like you've been waiting for this, basically you've been waiting for this tower moment to happen for quite some time. And you've been doing, before the tower actually crumbles, it's like you're one of those people that instead of fixing the issue at hand, they're sitting there, putting band-aids on bullet holes. Just waiting for the moment that everything comes down and starts to crumble in front of you. The choice to end your situation may no longer be your choice. So it's more of a universal thing. Like the universe is saying, it's kind of let go and let God at that point. It's, you've been trying to, like I said, put a band-aid on a situation for quite some time, and the universe is like, that shit's infected and your arm's gonna fall off. You can't sit there and continue to put a band-aid over a bullet hole without, the complete idea that shit's about to go, south in this situation. You rejected change, but you can't avoid it. You're holding on to something that no longer will benefit you, whether that's like a job that you hate, or some sort of a relationship that's continually draining you, or someplace that you consistently have been going to that doesn't make you feel very safe. Now's the time to let it go. It could be in relevance, like let's say you have a drug addiction, and you've been putting it off to go seek help, or you have some type of alcohol addiction, something of that nature, or you are in a relationship where, that the other person's an asshole and has, been putting their hands on you or been talking down to you, or you're stuck in a job where, in the back of your mind every day, you're like, what's the movie, The Office Space, or something like that, where he's like, I'm gonna burn this motherfucker to the ground. So that could be, that whole mentality is just like, it's telling you, just heed warning, the time is coming, your breaking point is about to hit. But there's nothing you can fucking do about it at this point, because the universe has just been watching you, basically laughing at you, going, well, look at him or look at her, just there they go again, just trying to put a stick up on the side of that tower, just waiting, patiently waiting for shit to start to crumble. So it's saying here, it's important to remember that every ending also brings a new beginning. So that's something that you can always push as a positive. It always takes a massive tower moment for you to actually make a change in your life. Kind of like I was saying in regards to an addiction or something of that nature. You've got to look at it, and also in the sense of sometimes it takes rain. It may take a storm to make a flower flourish at that point. So there's some type of new beginning coming for you, Aries. Moving on, make space for new energy to come into our lives. So don't get caught in the mourning process for longer than is necessary. So don't dread on the fact that this change is happening. Take heed of it. Look at it as a positive. Take the information that you've learned from this situation and make sure not to repeat those same cycles, in order, that you don't put yourself in the same situation again. So it says here, it can be easy to mourn the loss, but it prevents you from seeing the doors that open for you. So it's a transition that's about to freaking go down for you, my dear Aries, but you need to really take into consideration the fact that These things happen and these things shall pass. So let's go ahead. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pull an oracle card on your problem, and then the kind of the solution or the advice that the universe is kind of throwing out at you. So we have the dawn, the light after the darkness. Seems like I've been pulling cards on this for Leo had a lot of cards in regards to remembering to cut on the light. And then let's look at Aries solution. Oh, not sure. I believe there was another fire sign that had this. If it wasn't Sagittarius, it was Leo. But here we are. So we have the owl, and then we have dawn, which is weird because you have a repetitive repetitiveness when it comes to these cards. Both of them have an owl. Both of them are not moving. They're moving forward in a situation. They're not trying to move backwards on a situation. So it's basically like the wind's at their back, and it is kind of like a chariot energy where they're being reminded that in order for this shitty ass situation to really come into fruition for you to be able to learn from your mistakes, you got to be able to move forward in a situation. You can't sit there and continue to look on like a 5 of Cups energy, which is just continuing to look back at the past and crying over spilled milk. You just got to deal with the situation, and you got to take heed on it and be wiser, because that's what the owl represents, is being wiser regarding the situation and learning from your mistakes and not repeating them in the future. All right, so your problem here, dawn. I do like this deck of oracle cards because the book gives you like a little poem off to the side. So I'll share that with you. Dawn. After the darkest times, the sun will always rise. The dawn will always come. This can be no surprise. So should you receive this card, you're being reminded with your problem that there is always a fresh start and a new beginning to be had. So if there is something coming that's going to make you feel like your whole world's about to crumble to the ground, the dawn card is telling you, you need to be able to learn from that situation. Change is unstoppable, and even the most difficult times will pass. So no matter how devastating they may seem, hope is one of the most powerful motivating forces in the universe, and it's being indicated here. So it's telling you, don't sit there and dread on your current problem, because there's reminds me of the Florence and the Machine song, there's always darkness before the dawn. I don't, that's what song's coming to me right now. So your solution or your advice here, the owl, he's wise seeing, wise action. It says here, silent winged and wise, all-seeing creature of the night, show me the way and I will follow you in flight. It's like basically you're screaming to the universe, Aries. It's kind of a falling on your hands and knees kind of situation where you're like, why did you allow this to happen to me? Why? And the universe is like, because you didn't listen before, because you didn't take heed of the advice. I kept throwing you all the red flags, and I was telling you this shit was about to happen and you weren't listening. And now it's like, now it's time to learn from what's happening here. So it's more of a follow, take my hand and follow me into, kind of gives you a Carol Ann kind of feel with Poltergeist, but it's telling you, take my hand and be smart from here on out. So reading from the book. What it's telling you is that many deities were said to be able to change into owls, and perhaps the most famous was the Greek goddess Athena, which I love because she's very like warrior, who was famous for her strategy and intelligence. And to this very day, the capital city of Greece, Athens, has Athena's owl as its symbol. But what this card means, because we pulled this for you as your solution, should the hooting owl come looking for you this Halloween, And be on the lookout. If you're seeing an owl, pay attention to the things that are going on around you, because it's giving you some sort of a sign right now. It indicates the need for wise counsel or further information before you make some sort of drastic decision, kind of before you step into the shit again. How about you learn from your mistakes and come in a little bit more wiser at that point? Considered action is warranted. Think before you act emotionally, and ensure you think strategically, not impulsively. So don't go doing some stupid ass, don't be making some stupid ass moves and, you know, doing something massively drastic without really looking at the bigger picture on how this is going to directly affect you. Because that banshee's telling you, girl, guy, shit's about to go down. How you allow it to go down is kind of up to you at this point. So let's pull on these cards and get this party started. And I just looked at the clock and it said we were 15 minutes 55 seconds into it, so there's something big coming. Okay, something big's coming. And funny enough, it was a Leo giving me a phone call. So let's look. Let's get some more information on the dawn, the light after the darkness. Give me some more information on that for our Aries. My mother is an Aries, so I am familiar. So we have the Nine of Wands. This is the zombie tarot, or they call it an oracle, but it's actually just the tarot. And then we have the Six of Wands. And at the bottom, you have the Eight of Cups there as a symbolism of something that that hasn't come to light quite yet. That Eight of Cups mentality is all about wanting to walk the fuck away from a situation that's no longer serving you. So that could be a situation that you're feeling right now. So with this Nine of Wands, that's your fire sign energy there. That's Leo, Aries, Sagittarius energy. The nine is a symbolism of attempting to attain something, trying to find some type of fulfillment. The Nine of Wands. Oh my goodness. I'm still getting familiar with the zombie deck, so I do really thoroughly enjoy, because I am a zombie nerd. I'm still getting adjusted to the artwork on it. I'm sorry if I'm a little blit. All right, so you've got this whole Nine of Wands mentality here. Nine means you've been carrying some sort, with the wands, you're carrying some sort of a massive burden for quite some time. Because that Ten of Wands is all about finally having the capability to lay that bitch down on the ground and be like, look, I'm kind of done with this. I'm really sick and tired of carrying your shit, carrying my shit, carrying everybody else's shit. I just really want to deal with my shit right now, so I'm just going to kind of walk away from it. With that Nine of Wands, it's kind of you're taking your last stand on a situation. You're putting in that extra grit to kind of get to the end of whatever it is that this whole tower moment that you're having right now. It's kind of a putting in your last ditch effort, would be the best way to say it. If this is in regards to like your love life, if you're having a very stressful relationship right now, it's basically telling you that there's a massive amount of stress on you right now, because even with that Nine of Wands, just in general, means that you're fucking tired. You're just really tired of everyone's shit. You're tired of the burden that the wands are on you at the moment. And then with the Six of Wands, see here with the newspaper, it has like the headline, the undead are victorious. So the Six of Wands is normally a symbolism of winning something, but because it is upside down, and sixes are all about harmony and cooperation and healing, but because it is upside down, you're kind of going in the opposite direction of that. And that Six of Wands is there's no reward there. You're not going to be celebrating at the end of the day, and that is your major problem. Is you're definitely not going to be, whatever's going on right now, it's going to be a massive burden, and you really got to be able to just be able to learn from whatever it is that the universe is trying to teach you right now, because nobody's going to win in this situation with that Six of Wands. If it's in regards to like your love life, I feel like maybe you're feeling very unloved in a situation. If it's in regards to your job, I feel like you're not meeting your career goals right now. You're carrying everybody else's burden. You know, you may be one of those people that you're taking all the extra hours, but nobody's telling you, well, thanks for taking those extra hours. Thanks for working that Saturday when you didn't need to. It's more of a, well, you're getting paid for it. Fuck you. So that's the kind of mentality it is right now, especially with this situation. You know, yeah, it could be like you're a single mom or a single dad, or you're in a love relationship where you have kids, and you know nobody acknowledges the fact that you know you maybe you have two or three kids, and you're just sitting at home with them all day, taking care of them, and then the husband walks to the door and he's like, what's for dinner? Instead of, wow, you made it through the fucking day. So it could be one of those situations, or it could be a husband that's working his ass off every day, you know, and the wife is like, you know, well, screw you. I really want that Prada bag. I don't give a shit how hard you're working. You better work your ass off in order to get me that Prada bag. So it kind of feels like one of those situations. So something is coming to an end, and we're needing to learn from that mistake. So let's look at the owl. We've got the Queen of Wands. Again, your fire energy. That Queen of Wands is all about feeling more confident on something, being more determined, or being optimistic about a situation. You finally have sought out some type of advice from someone else, and you've gained a little bit more knowledge, and you're kind of, you know, you lost the war here with this problem, but this solution is trying to tell you, you know, get up off your ass, because it's no longer gonna hurt you the way this just hurt you. But the one thing also that you need to understand is that you're dealing with something that's very temporary here. It's nothing but Wands energy. It's something that you're massively feeling very passionate about, because Wands are all about your energy and your motivation. Your life purpose and your spirituality and some type of new idea. And with this, you're feeling it. You're all up in it right now. That as in is happening from day to day. And the star here is your first major arcana that has come into play. The star is it's more of it kind of gives you that whole feeling of a wish fulfillment that's ruled by Aquarius. It reminds you that you know, there's a lot of healing that's about to happen in regards to your love life. If it's in regards to you saying, fuck you, I'm really tired of dealing with your shit. It could be in regards to some type of possible new love that could be coming in for you, that's going to cause you to have that passion feeling, if you know what I mean. Or it, you know, it could be reaching like your goals. So what that star is a representation of like a reprieve after like a massive period of destruction, which is what that banshee is telling you, that massive destruction is happening. And then finally, I feel like once you start to actually listen to the advice that the universe is giving you, you'll finally start to feel that whole hope and faith being restored. You're going to be entering at more of like a peaceful, loving phase. You're going to be more calm. You're going to be figuring shit out, because the star is a representation of out with the old and in with the new. So it's like everything will feel like it's crumbling. You feel like your life's falling apart. You feel like, you know, this is it. oh, this is, what's that one show? I don't know if you watched it, from like the 80s, and it was the two, it was like the black dad, black son, and they lived in like a junkyard. I think it was Sanderson and Sons, and he was always like, oh, this is it, my heart attack, this is it, this is where I leave. So this is that situation. It's like okay, well, maybe I was just, you know, fussing around there. But yeah, so you're finally going to get some sort of a welcome reprieve there. Again, you got that 8 of Cups. Again, that whole 8 of Cups energy. You don't want to deal with your shit. You got that. I'm at the end of my rope. I'm done. I just want to walk away from this situation. I'm kind of just done. 8s are all about taking some sort of an action. And this woman here, she's like, I'm done with this shit. I don't want to hear what you have to say anymore. You know, I'm not dealing with it anymore, and I'm walking away. So with that 8, Cups are all about kind of like your feelings and emotions, and some type of intuition that, you know, something, like having an intuition that something is about to go down, you feeling sad. The 8 of Cups, like I said, it's abandoning wanting to abandon a situation, finally letting go and letting God, trying to search for some type of truth and leaving something behind. If it's regarding your love life, you're unhappy, you're ready, you just, I'm out the door. It could also be in regards to, you know, if a job is stressing you out, maybe. The problem is that you're not taking enough vacation time. You're not walking away from your job enough in order to actually have a freaking break. You're overworking yourself. So let's look at our last bit of cards here for your solution. I think this is called the Defiant Moon. If you're looking into purchasing it, I really like the artwork on it. I thought it was really cool. It's kind of weirdly grotesque, but it's good. Okay, speaking of weirdly grotesque. All right, so that 10, that is the 10 of Wands. Again, which is weird, because that Banshee starts with the kind of the choking on the nail and not expecting to bleed. Well, dude's got nothing but a bunch of stuff like shooting through him. And that's that 10 of the 10 of Swords there, the 10 of Swords energy, and that's being so bitter and just exhausted and feeling like you've come to a dead end, and you've had to deal with maybe some sort of a breakup in order to resolve your situation. Kind of almost like a, you know, if it's in regards to your job and wanting to be able to finally move forward with the situation. It could be you lose your job, or you have an emotional massive breakdown from the amount of stress that you're holding from whatever situation it is over here, that you're like, look, I'm tired, I just want to fucking walk away from it, I'm kind of done. And over here it's like, hey, can I just lay these down now? I'm kind of done with this situation. Is it okay if we just resolve this and I head on out? Is that okay? Is that okay? So the advice for the situation is, you know, keep an open mind. Make sure to seek out some type of wise counsel, whether that be like a parent, legally, if that's a situation that you're in right now. And just remember that, you know, everything can be rebuilt. Rome wasn't built in a day, and it definitely can't be rebuilt in a day. So if the situation at hand means that you're going to come to a crumbling point, just know that you can rebuild. There's always darkness before the dawn. And I'm probably gonna title the video as that. My first two that I did for Leo and Sagittarius, it was very much Harry Potter references. So happy to know that you are Florence and the Machine. Okay, so here we are. The answers you need are coming. So like I said, just keep moving forward. You pick yourself up off the ground, pick yourself up out of that rubble, and then, keep moving forward. Whatever it is that's coming, that has been meaning to come for quite some time. Definitely you're going to rebuild from it, but be wiser moving forward from here on out. So if this is relevant to you, like, share, subscribe, so I know that it hits home for somebody. Like I said, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one reading, so it may not be for everybody. And if not, sending lots of good vibes out there for you so that you can make it through the situation. Otherwise, I hope you guys have an excellent October and Halloween, and I will talk to you guys next time. Bye.